wallpaper on your Android-powered smartphone, on Apple's iPhone, or on your laptop. We have a solution for any device. E-Edition is free for subscribers, or just $7.99 a month. The Bakersfield Californian. We're everywhere and anytime. Subscribe today. Bakersfield.com.
Roadrunner Rundown on Bakersfield.com and the CSUB Roadrunners Digital Network. Live from the Dignity Health Studios in downtown Bakersfield, California.
Welcome in once again to another edition of Roadrunner Rundown here on Bakersfield.com, GoRunners.com, Roadrunner Digital Network. My name's Corey Costello. Thanks so much for joining us once again on the program. We have a busy show today. We have a lot of folks going to be in studio. We got a lot of things to cover, and it's going to be a fantastic show. So hang on for that. We're going to have Greg McCall and Tyonna Outland on the program, a CSUB women's basketball. Greg McCall, head coach. Tyonna Outland, now three-time Western Athletic Conference Player of the Week. And she won it this past week. Bakersfield winning 2 games on the road. They'll be at home this weekend in Western Athletic Conference play against New Mexico State and UT Pan American. So we'll speak with Greg McCall and Tyonna Outland coming up in the next segment. Bottom of the hour, we've got a really cool thing going on today, a cool presentation. You might have heard about our Par 3 championship that the CSUB golf program that raised over $130,000 for the program. And one of the generous donors, along with our director of golf, Greg Osbourne, will be in studio coming up a little bit bottom of the hour, actually, to make a presentation and talk about his support for CSUB golf. That man is Jose Arredondo. He'll be joined by Greg Osbourne, our director of golf, and we'll just see what happens at the bottom of the hour. But a great tournament. We thank all those that took part and donated, but we'll speak with them at the bottom of the hour. And also coming up, baseball practice opened on Friday, which means baseball season is about 2 weeks away, like 2 days or 2 weeks and about 3 days away from getting going. And so we'll speak with preseason All-American Oscar Sanay. He's a senior infielder for the Roadrunners. He'll join us in the final segment of the show. So a great program and a new Corey versus to come as well. But as always, it's time for highlights, and we've got a lot of them this week, as we will start with men's basketball at the Icardo Center this past weekend, trying to find a WAC home win, 0-3 in the first few attempts. So Rowdy getting into the action in the routine, maybe that will help. Good game against Kansas City as Bakersfield, a balanced scoring effort. Here's Javante Manor with the drive and the layup. He's coming off a scoreless game at Chicago State. He, didn't have that against Kansas City. The driving floater, then the three-pointer, both working. He had 16, and then Isaiah Grayson led the way for the Runners. Ali Ahmed for Bakersfield also getting going on the shot, but then as you see at the 4-minute mark, things start to change. A turnover for Bakersfield, and then, after that, a floater from Zach Lamb gives Bakersfield the lead with 3:20 left. Then a turnover at midcourt, runners up by 5. Brandon Barnes on the breakaway, no, didn't happen, and it ends up being, he gets the offensive rebound, and then Isaiah Grayson missing the three-pointer. That will go the other way for Kansas City. They're going to get a lane, and all of a sudden, it's a 3-point game. Well, after that, Kansas City on the move. Bakersfield missing a shot there. The offensive foul called on the Roadrunners. Kansas City now bringing it forward as down 5 here once again. The 3 in the corner. It's a 2-point basketball game. 1:15 to play. Isaiah Grayson off the screen. He falls down, tries to kick the ball back to Zach Lamb. Goes the other way. It's a layup for Kansas City. We are tied with 45 seconds to play at 67. Then Isaiah Grayson for Bakersfield. There's a replay of that once again as he just kind of fell down in space, and Kansas City able to get the tying bucket. And then Bakersfield, though, they would battle back. Brandon Barnes down low with 14 seconds off the glass. Runners lead by 2. Last chance for Kansas City. They will inbound. And all you got to do is not give up a 3. Don't give up a three-pointer. Don't give up a three-pointer. Don't give up a three-pointer. And, three-pointer coming up here. Ball game. Kansas City knocks it down. They're going to beat Bakersfield 70-69. Here's head coach Rod Barnes.
I think a lot of things that's similar has happened to us tonight. I just thought it was a little bit different, which I felt better about. Thought we did a good job of playing together. I thought we fought hard as a team. I thought we communicated well on offense and defense. I thought at the end of the game, even though we had some turnovers, I think a few turnovers that we did have, I thought they were pretty aggressive plays, and I'm okay with that. When I was disappointed, I shouldn't say disappointed, I guess one of the things that kind of happened, we had some opportunities early in the game that we missed some shots right around the basket. And then we had some opportunities late in the game that we missed some shots right around the basket. And that's a tough thing to swallow when it's that close of a game. But overall, obviously, I feel much better. Disappointed in the loss, but I feel much better about our team play tonight and the way we responded to the loss than I did when I left here on Thursday.
And that was head coach Rod Barnes. Well, actually, that should be Kansas City. 70-69 the final in that one. Frank Williams Jr., though, hitting the three-pointer for the win there. And then Bakersfield losing as well, 71-67 on Thursday's game as well to Chicago State. So the Runners losing both those games as well this past weekend. Now the Roadrunners will be on the road at New Mexico State on Thursday at 7 o'clock against New Mexico State in Las Cruces. And then on Saturday, they'll be on the road at UT Pan American at 7 o'clock. Those are Central Time starts, and so 5 o'clock local Bakersfield taking on Texas Pan Am, trying to it'll actually be wrapping up the first half of conference play. So the Runners trying to salvage the first half of conference play right now at 1-5 in WAC play. On to women's basketball. They've, been pretty good so far. 4-2 in conference play. They were on the road this past weekend. Let's head the highlights from the Windy City, which was also very cold in Chicago. Bakersfield at Chicago State. All over the Cougars at the Jones Convocation Center. They start the game on an 8-0 run. There's a miss, then an offensive rebound and put back by Badabe Zampari. She had 15 points and 8 rebounds. Big scorer of the night, though, was Tyonna Outland. She scored 18 points, 6 of 10 from the field. There she gets the layup. And then on defense, how about that steal? Jumping in the air, getting it herself, taking it the other way for the finish. So Bakersfield leads comfortably. Alyssa Shannon with a nice game as well. There she is on the steal and the finish and the foul. She had 8 points on 3 of 4 from the field for the road. The smallest player on the floor. She's dominating for Bakersfield. Now, Runners led by as many as 27 in the game as Melissa Sweat going to get into the action with this layup for the Runners as well. They stretched the lead to 30 points then in the second half as Brooke Hinkins on the three-pointer for the Roadrunners in the corner. That's her spot. She doesn't miss. She has 9 points for the Runners as well. Then Hinkins with the assist down low to Brittany Sims in the paint. She had 11 points for Bakersfield. Runners win this one 90-59 going away in Chicago, the win for Bakersfield. And so they would beat Chicago State 90-59, 18 points for Tyonna Outland. This was Thursday's game. And then on Saturday, the Roadrunners at Kansas City, 87-80. A little bit more of a scrap in that game, very close until the last 8 minutes or so. Bakersfield able to pull away thanks to Tyonna Outland. 27 points for the Roadrunners. They are now 4-2 in conference play. For Bakersfield, they will be at home. New Mexico State will take on the Roadrunners on Thursday night, 7 o'clock at the Icardo Center. And then the Runners will be hosting Texas Pan Am Saturday afternoon. That is a 1 o'clock start time at the Icardo Center as well. So a good chance as Bakersfield wraps up the first half of women's basketball conference play to be in second place. Texas Pan Am also 4-2 in conference play. New Mexico State is 3-3. So a couple home wins for the Runners puts them right there behind Idaho at the top of the Western Athletic Conference. Well, baseball practice opened up this week, and for the Runners, their season just a few short weeks away, I should say, as we head out to Hartfield for Bakersfield and the Roadrunners in practice action on Friday, and essentially just getting ready for the home opener February 14th through 16th against Milwaukee, defending WAC champions. A lot to replace from that 2013 squad. Here's head coach Bill Kernan. Coach Kernan in Bakersfield, there he is.
Back in for him, that's not quite so easy. We've got 15 new guys, and we've got major pitching that we lost, and probably, I don't know how many of our wins, probably most of them, probably maybe 30 of them is winning 30 of our wins maybe, and our catcher and our shortstop. So we have a lot to replace, and we're working on doing that. I think we have the talent to be able to do that, but whether we're a team that can do that is the question, because that's what takes time to put together. I can't give them experience playing other teams until they do, and we can work as hard as we work out here, but until that happens, I'm not able to. That's just something I'm not able to give them until they go out and get it.
So the Runners practicing until February 14th. They will open the season against Milwaukee. Milwaukee winning their conference last year and was an NCAA regional squad. So it'll be Milwaukee at Bakersfield February 14th to the 16th. 1, 2, and 12 are the game times. Friday, which is Valentine's Day. We got a special couple things planned out there at Hartfield. But Friday at actually 3 o'clock. I'm sorry, it should be 3, 2, and 12. Runners against UW Milwaukee on Friday the 14th, as the Runners will take on Milwaukee at Hartfield, opening up their defense of their 2013 Western Athletic Conference Championship. Well, time for, once again, as we get into Corey Versus. You know, a couple weeks ago I threw the hammer. Wasn't that great. And it was a little intimidating. This time I continue with my my throwers with the CSUB track and field team, and this time I threw the discus, which essentially is a heavy frisbee, so what could go wrong? Let's check it out. Here on Corey Versus, we're back out here at the CSUB track, and Al Colat's our throwers coach back here with me. A chance to sort of redeem myself after the hammer throw debacle. So here we are, we're going to try some discus today. Let's talk about that event real quick. What does the discus entail?
The discus entails pretty much the same as all the other throws. I mean, you want to be coordinated, athletic. The better athlete you are, the better discus thrower you will make. So again, it takes a combination of speed, strength, balance, coordination, and again, it takes a lot of hard work to become proficient at the discus.
Of all those attributes, I think I'm 0 for 4. So this is going to be really interesting. So we will do a quick tutorial, and then we'll show you how it's done, and then I'll give it a shot. So here we go.
Gabe Holland's going to demonstrate discus turn. So go ahead. What he's going to do is he's going to slide over his left leg, get his body weight out. He's going to sweep with his right leg, and then turn his hips and land in a position where his chest is facing the back of the ring so he can get a long pull, which creates a long throw. And a key to this event, obviously, is, you can speed it up a little bit, is when you hit the ground with your right foot, the right foot keeps turning, and your hips lead the hand, and that's what creates the torque and the tension to sling the discus.
Okay, Al told us how to do it. Now Gabe is going to show us. A nice demonstration indeed. Good distance from the disc cam. Another example of how it's done. Seems easy enough, right?
Yep. Start pivot on your left leg, sweep, close. Close. Make sure that right foot, get around a little bit more with your hips and keep that right foot turning in the middle. There, that's close, yeah. There you go.
I don't think it's supposed to go end over end like a punt. We can only get better.
Keep your feet turning at all times. Pull.
Second try, more distance, but same end over end result. Third time's a charm.
Hey, that's a little better. Last. Spin off your index finger. It comes off your index finger, the last place it touches.
It's a little better, so a quick grip adjustment, and I should be golden. Oh, look out.
That's why they have cages.
Can't end on a destructive note, so here's one last shot.
Here we go. There you go. All right.
Hey, I might become a thrower after all. That one actually got to the first line. Solid ending effort at the discus. Know who invented these things. Like, who decided let's just throw heavy objects and call it sports? Anyway, there was the attempt at the discus. Not terrible at the very end. I did rally to finish nicely. So I did that little first line in the discus grid. I hit that the last throw. So that was actually like 7 feet. Anyway, my thanks to Al Colat's CSUB throwers, Gabe as well, showing me how it's done. We're going to step away and take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk women's hoops. Greg McCall, Tyonna Outland will join us. Bakersfield at home this weekend. That's coming up next. Stick around. This is Roadrunner Rundown.
Introducing TBC Mobile from the Bakersfield Californian. The most complete news, sports, weather, video, opinion, and lifestyle coverage in Bakersfield and Kern County. It's the easiest way to stay up to date on all things local while on the go. Read it on your smartphone or tablet. Download now by searching Bakersfield Californian in the Apple, Google, and Amazon app stores.
I'm Lisa Kirsch. Coming up Wednesday on Live Well, it is the Super Bowl edition. You don't want to miss this. Chef Robert will be on sharing all kinds of recipes for special eats and treats during the big game, as well as the food dudes who will be stopping in to share their information with us, along with Scott Cox, who's going to be coming in to talk about all things manly and man caves, and it'll be a lot of fun. You don't want to miss that. That is coming up on Live Well Wednesday, right here on Bakersfield.com.
Brave and bold, silver and gold.
We're on a mission. Aggie up.
Bronx Country just got a whole lot bigger.
Mighty Wolverines of UVU.
Join the herd. Lopes up.
Bold moves, big season, grew up.
We are the new gold standard.
We will be champions.
We are the Western Athletic Conference.
Save 50 to 90% with the Bakersfield Californians Daily Deal featured on Bakersfield.com. A daily deal is offered each weekday on services from local restaurants, dry cleaners, health and beauty services, retail shops, and local activities for the entire family. The daily deal is 100% local. Find these amazing deals only at dailydeal.bakersfield.com.
Madness is calling. The 2014 WAC Men's and Women's Basketball Tournament. March 12th through the 15th at Orleans Arena in Las Vegas. 16 teams battle through the brackets on their way to the big dance. Be there to see who will go home the big winner.
All session passes on sale now for $165 by calling 654-BLUE. Welcome back to Roadrunner Rundown as we continue on the program. Still to come on the show, we're going to be speaking with Greg Osbourne, our director of golf, Jose Arredondo as well, from Family Motors is going to join us. He's got a nice presentation for the golf program. And also Oscar Sanay, CSUB Baseball, joining us at 10:45 as well. Want to talk some hoops, though. Women's basketball in town this weekend. They will host New Mexico State on Thursday and UT Pan Am on Saturday. Joined now by Tyonna Outland, the Western Athletic Conference Player of the Week for the third time this season. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And Greg McCall, head coach of women's basketball. Thanks for joining us, guys. How you doing?
I'm fine. Thank you for having us.
Let's talk this weekend, Coach, real quick, or this past weekend. You guys went 2-0 on the road, going to the Midwest. Obviously, the longest trips, I guess, sort of the year. Probably the coldest trips you guys had. Luckily, you play indoors. But your team seemed to, pretty much run away with it at Chicago State, and then a little bit more of a battle at Kansas City. So talk about those two wins and how important and how your team played.
I'm very proud of the team. We after the loss against Idaho State, we bounced back, and I told our players, we definitely don't want the wheels to fall off. We don't want to come back and continue to play that way we played. So they came out, they responded. We had some good practices and prepared well for both trips. And they came out and did what they're supposed to do against Chicago State. They shot the ball very well, and really we've been focusing now a lot on our defensive end of things. That's one of the changes I know we talked about earlier, like some of the tweaks and things that you'll do in conference play. So really been trying to focus a little bit different things on the defensive end. So it's coming up for the second half of this conference.
Yeah, Tyonna, I want to talk about the Chicago State game because you led the way with 18 points, but that was a really balanced scoring effort. There was 4 other girls in double figures. It seemed like offensively you guys were pretty much everybody had the ability to do something special that night.
We just want to keep everybody involved and work on a lot of team things that would help us further in the season and help boost our confidence and everything.
And that game, it seemed like you guys jumped up ahead big early. You kind of let them back into it, but not really that close to really start sweating it too much. And you pulled them away, which obviously is a mark of a good team putting away games you should win.
Yeah, everybody's going to make a run, no matter the level of the team. But, we just kept our composure and just kept playing.
Coach, talk about that game too. I mean, the balance of the scoring, and then a lot of different players able to step up and do what they do very well in that game.
Yes, it was one of those games where we were able to take advantage of some things that Chicago State did not have, and we were able to get a lot of players. And a lot of players, like Ty said, it was a confidence builder as well too, to get certain players involved, to get them ready for other games and getting them prepared actually for that game that we played on Saturday. So it was a really good confidence builder, and we worked on some things that we thought that we can probably try to work on to get us ready and get us prepared for the other part of the season.
Yeah, let's talk about that game on Saturday against Kansas City. A little bit more of a fight in that one. It was a really close game, I know, in half and through a good chunk of the second half. With about 8 minutes to go, you guys kind of took over. What was the difference in that game on Saturday, which basically separated you guys from winning and losing that one?
It was our defense. We really, like I said, we've been really trying to harp on that as well. Now we know we still have to be able to score the basketball, but we've really been talking about our defense and really trying to pin the ball on one side of the floor. And that's what we really tried to focus on, and we're still making some adjustments with that, but the girls are really trying hard with it, and that's what made it a lot easier, with their efforts and everything on trying to do the things that we're asking them to do. And then we're going down and attacking and finishing. Then we've been really focusing also, too, on our inside play and trying to get Bada Bays and Pari more touches on the inside, as well as Brittany Sims more touches on the inside. That'll help open up our outside game a lot more. So in those two games, you could tell we had 50 points in the paint and then 42 points in the paint against UMKC.
In the Kansas City game, it obviously defense was a big part, but it always helps to have a player like Tyonna who scored 27 points in that game. Kind of hit some big shots at the end as well. What did you see out there, especially in the last 8 minutes or so, when you guys kind of were able to get the separation and the win?
Basically, we had to attack and catch up on the free throws because, they was winning with, as far as the free throw battle. Mm-hmm. And we was like, we needed to attack. That was our whole halftime talk. And we needed to attack and play defense and get them all, nervous and everything, and we just picked it up.
Do you feel as a player it makes your team hard to defend when you've got players like we talked about on the inside, like Bada Bay and Brittany Sims, to score on the inside, and then also players that like yourselves or maybe even Alyssa Shannon that can shoot from the outside but also attack? Does it make it tough to defend?
Yes. It all starts inside because once we get the ball inside, it opens up for the guards, and it makes teams hard to decide where to key in on, and it just makes everything way more easier.
And it seems like the only two conference losses you guys had was just games where you weren't making a lot of shots. That seemed to be the difference maker.
Yes, that was a huge difference maker. If we can make shots, we've talked about that from day one, that we had to continue to make shots. And one of the things that we're trying to do now is let our defense generate more easier shots for us and get us more easier transition buckets and fast break buckets. So that's one of the things that we've been trying to focus on, that, and that'll help us with our shooting as well too. And it's always good when we have Ty that can turn it on at any time, and other teams don't have that. We have Ty. So.
Greg McCall and Tyonna Outland joining us here on Roadrunner Rundown. Let's talk about this weekend, Coach. You've got New Mexico State coming to town. They're 3-3 right now in conference play. Talk about them first, and the challenges that you see for Thursday's game against the Aggies.
They're going to shoot a lot of threes. There have been games where they've shot up to 38 threes in a game, and they're going to launch them, and they're going to take a lot of bad threes, and but they're going to shoot them, and we got to be able to defend them. We're going to have to do a good job on that, and being able to close out on the shooters, force the shooters to become drivers, and then being ready to help early, and that's one of the things, so we won't send them to the foul line and pick up easy early fouls against them and stuff. So we want to make sure we close out on the shooters, make them become drivers without fouling them.
Ty, on a team like that, when you've got a team coming in that's expected to take a lot of three-pointers, and like Coach said, sometimes even bad three-pointers, a lot of the rebounding at that point becomes a guard job because of the long rebound. So does that kind of change your mentality and your focus going into the game, knowing you might have to get a lot of rebounds too?
Yeah, I love the rebound, but it's going to take a lot of getting on the floor and loose balls because the balls are going to come long. Mm-hmm. So boxing out and everything's going to be key because it's going to be balls are going to be everywhere. So we just got to make it 80-20 and be that 80% and get the ball.
Absolutely. And then coming up on the Saturday afternoon, you've got the UT Pan Am 4-2 in conference play, just like you guys entering the weekend right there behind Idaho in the top spot in the conference. So, what do you expect out of them on Saturday afternoon?
Very much similar to us, very athletic team, pretty much guard-oriented. don't score a lot of points. They have a hard time struggling on scoring, but they do a good job defensively, and they try to keep the game at a low-scoring game. In their last game, they came back and beat New Mexico State. It was, I think, 66-61, and New Mexico State led the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, they play a lot of low-scoring games, and they try to rely a lot on their defensive efforts because they can't score very well.
And Ty, this weekend will wrap up the first half of conference play. How much fun has it been for you so far? You were here for 3 years or so as an independent program. So how much fun has it been, and different has it been the last few weeks playing a conference schedule?
It's a lot of fun. I mean, as we got the conference, it's more critical because you have to win like certain games, and we have to just make sure we just keep our poise and everything. But I mean, I love it. Did you,
you're gonna play all these teams one more time, and did you maybe, as you're playing them the first time, file things away? You have mental notes, and next time you play that team, you're gonna, whether it be in conference play or even in the conference tournament, you're gonna have some mental notes on that particular player.
Oh yes, definitely. Just every game I go out, I'm like, well, how am I going? I gotta guard this player differently to keep their scoring average. Just like last game, I'm like, when we played them again. You got to stop number 15, guard her differently. Just, it's a lot. I take notes on every game that I play.
Awesome. Well, Tyonna Outland, Greg McCall, CSUB women's basketball, they're home on Thursday, 7 o'clock against New Mexico State, and on Saturday, 1 o'clock against Texas Pan Am. Thanks so much for joining us. Congrats on the start. 4-2 right now in conference play. A good start, and good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be back with more, folks, as we continue. We're going to talk some CSUB golf. Director of Golf Greg Osbourne will join us next. He's got a special guest with a special presentation that's coming up next. Stick around. It's Roadrunner Rundown.
Introducing TBC Mobile from the Bakersfield, California. The most complete news, sports, weather, video, opinion, and lifestyle coverage in Bakersfield and Kern County. It's the easiest way to stay up to date on all things local while on the go. Read it on your smartphone or tablet. Download now by searching Bakersfield Californian in the Apple, Google, and Amazon app stores.
Save 50 to 90% with the Bakersfield Californians Daily Deal featured on Bakersfield.com. A daily deal is offered each weekday on services from local restaurants, dry cleaners, health and beauty services, retail shops, and local activities for the entire family. The daily deal is 100% local. Find these amazing deals only at dailydeal.bakersfield.com.
The Bakersfield Californian is a great read on the iPad, but did you know that the Bakersfield Californian is available on your Kindle Fire? Or how about Google's Nexus 7, the Nook? You bet. You can also read a full replica of the newspaper on your Android-powered smartphone, on Apple's iPhone, or on your laptop. We have a solution for any device. E-Edition is free for subscribers, or just $7.99 a month. The Bakersfield Californian. We're everywhere and anytime. Subscribe today. Bakersfield.com.
Kern Business Journal contains news and information from local business leaders and organizations. Topics include agriculture, health and medical, energy, real estate, and more. Visit KernBusinessJournal.com to find out how to subscribe or where to pick up a free copy. To inquire about advertising in the bi-monthly Business Journal, call 395-7586. Find us online on Facebook and Twitter, as well as on KernBusinessJournal.com.
Madness is calling. The 2014 WAC Men's and Women's Basketball Tournament. March 12th through the 15th at Orleans Arena in Las Vegas. 16 teams battle through the brackets on their way to the big dance. Be there to see who will go home the big winner.
passes on sale now for $165 by calling 654-BLUE. Welcome back into Roadrunner Rundown. Hey, you might have read about it, you might have heard about it, but a very successful CSUB Golf Par 3 Championship this past week at Rio Bravo Country Club. And before we get to our guests, let's show you some of the highlights from a great event this past week.
It's fun to go out and play golf, especially on a day like this in January. And as a Cal State alumni, I always look for an opportunity to support the runners.
I, in fact, played for the Roadrunners in 1976, so I've got a connection there. And it's just, it's good to see the turnout that they have. Perfect weather day. I think everybody's going to have a really good time.
Well, I'm the golf coach at Bakersfield College, and I feel that we need to work together to build a stronger community for golf. And so I think it helps Bakersfield College and it helps Cal State Bakersfield. Plus, Greg Osbourne is my friend. So
there you go.
That's the main reason.
Well, yeah, I know Greg for probably about 17 years, and he's been a great friend and a great mentor to me. And I know he's a great competitor, teacher, and coach. And I think that the loss of all of us in LA is your game. And he's going to put these programs on the map. They're going to be playing in NCAA championships in just a few years, I believe.
Now, I know you've kind of issued a bit of a challenge as well to people. I know you support this program, and you've issued a challenge for people to do the same as well. Talk about that a little bit and what you're hoping to get out of it.
Well, what I'm hoping to get out of it is helping Greg get a start and the program get a start. I love golf, and I love young people that are interested in golf or at any age. And I think that with what's happened in the state, there's not a lot of funds available for things like golf programs, which is a little sad. But it's not going to stop the enthusiasm of people like Greg and all of his supporters that'll come out. And so I said, I'll match up to $50,000, and let's see if we can get some community support. And I think we'll do it.
And there you have it, a very successful event. And we want to welcome to the program now our Director of Golf, Greg Osbourne, and special guest Jose Arredondo as well, who not only has been a supporter of Roadrunner Golf, he won the net portion, right, Greg?
Yes, he did.
So
tremendous player.
A good golfer, too, on top of that.
I was very impressed with the way Jose played, by the way. But anyway, back on the tournament, I just need to thank everybody that was involved with it, especially Rio Bravo Country Club. I mean, John Yu let us use that course. I got to thank Nick Gonzalez and Nick Vallejo. Patty Maxwell ran the food. I mean, they did just a super job allowing me to do that. Also involved in that, you need a lot of volunteers. We had people checking in the golfers. I got to thank Vicky Reisler. I got to thank Debbie Bullman and Dana Miller. Those two I have kids that play for me. Mm-hmm. It's just amazing. Dave Kettler, he's a father of a son, one of my players, and Gene Browning played and they donated. I mean, it's just, I can't thank them enough. The 60-plus people came out. They were on our par threes. We had some wonderful prizes out there that people had a chance to win. And the 60-plus, and Enid arranged it, and they came out as witnesses along with my players. Men and women came out. They did our scoring. Yeah. And then the wrestlers also. 6 wrestlers came out. I got to thank Mike Mendoza and his assistant. They brought 6 guys out here. Riley brought them out. I mean, it was just tremendous, and they were great.
And there's nothing funnier than watching some of the teams actually because the players were riding on the back of the carts. A couple of the teams that had the wrestlers with a heavyweight holding onto the back of a golf cart. Somehow it made it around the course, so, hey, it worked.
Well, I watched that one wrestler, Reuben Franklin, pin somebody a couple of days before, sure. And to see him come up and help us in our event, what can I say?
Yeah.
Jeff Konya played. He played with you also.
Yes, he did.
He's our athletic director. For him to show up, that's great. Alan Wade came out, his back was hurt. He helped me with the committee. Sukvir's taking all the names of all the people that donated, and they are going to be in our gold club, a gold tea club.
Cool.
I got to thank, Vance Palm, who went to Cal State. He did my awards. Corey, I have to thank you immensely. You did some great interviews. You and your assistant, is it
Kayla? Yeah.
I mean, I can't thank you enough.
Which we're not going to have her and I on the same videos anymore because that's just doesn't look right. Like, you have Kayla.
Because she's so cute and
then
you.
Me. It's like Beauty and the Beast. Like, it doesn't work. I've got to just do less myself and probably just have her do more.
Yeah, but nobody does it like you, Corey.
Coach, I have a question.
Uh-huh.
It was a great event, but how did you come out with an 18-hole par 3 event?
Well,
I've never been in one, but I think it was one of the.
It was a great idea, yeah.
A couple years ago, when I was at Glendale College before I took over the job at Cal State, I needed to raise money, and I'm a PGA pro, and I used to play in a lot of golf tournaments, courses that I could play for free because I was a PGA. And a friend would call me up and say, "Hey, will you be a ringer?" And I'll come and play in your tournament. They'd pay for me, but so I'd go to the tournament. I'd walk up, and somebody would already pay my entry fee, but they check in, they ask you for your credit card. So, you had to do the mulligans and you had the silent auction. Now, I'm not against all that, but, and then they'd have somebody on the course taking money to hit it on the par 3. I donate it all back if I win anyway. So it would cost me, I kept taking out my wallet, and I just, I didn't want people to do that.
Sure.
So I had a donation only. I felt a par 3 was different. It wasn't your normal scramble, and in a par 3, everybody gets to play individually. So how wonderful is that? And so I have really good prizes in net and gross with handicaps, and then I have a beautiful perpetual trophy, which we'll show in a little bit. But
how do you come out with put the tees behind trees, and they were not easy
on
par
slopes?
3s.
The one we saw on video, the guy's hitting off of a slope by a bunker. I mean, there were some couple tricky ones.
I call it very creative tees. Teammate. Well, you got to do that. It's a par 3. I put it in rough. I put it on hard pan. If there's water in a bunker, you're going to shoot
Once
over.
there were guys hitting the one hole, they're hitting off of pine needles. Actually, I was with you guys on that hole. No. It's like pine needles over water.
No, got it. When I went to the first part, the first I said I thought it was going to be in the fairway. The tee, and then I'm going this way in the back of the trees behind the water. It was nothing easy on every par 3.
Well, that's what I feel. I could be wrong, but it worked. But I try to make it as competitive for the players as possible. I'm not going to put, it's a par 3, I'm not going to put the tees in the middle of the fairway.
Some guys hitting off rough right there under a tree. Yeah, see?
It was a lot of trees.
That was a good friend of mine. I got to say that I met, look at Jeff.
That's the one putt he made all day. I got it on video.
Okay.
Just in case. There you go. See, that's what I was talking about. There's
that's right.
Dirt. Yeah. There's Vance on a shot, but there's dirt right there, and you got to carry water.
Look at the water. But, I mean, that's the whole.
Brutal.
That's what's so fun about it, I think.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
And, we had closest to the pins on every hole for something. I got it, the golf courses gave me stuff. Some restaurants gave me some stuff, gift certificates and foursomes. And, Real Bravo let me give a foursome and carts to people so they could play the course at its longest distance. Yeah. That's a great promotion.
Yeah.
For not just us, but for
and the greens, they were very fast, that?
That's a tough course.
Very fast.
Tough course, with the lack of water nowadays. But Real Bravo's greens, they're not just fast, they're true, and they are lightning. And I knew it would be fun.
You guys had a lot of supporters at this tournament, but a lot of guys from out of town. But you also had some local guys, and Jose being one of those local guys. Let's talk about his contribution here.
Well, what could I say? We spoke before, and Jose wanted to do a great. He said he was going to surprise us, and he wanted to do something for the net prize as well, or the net cost of the tournament. That's what he does, and that's fine. So that's what we did. My friend Steve Rader did the gross, and Jose winning the net.
That was not easy to win. Okay, I gotta tell you something. I got a triple bogey in a par 3.
Yeah, there you go.
That was very 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 surprising to me. I was playing right, and then all of a sudden I find myself in a par 3 getting a 6, and I'm going hold it. But I kept my attitude.
Yes, he did.
Sure.
Kept my attitude, and in the end, you said, "Hey, guess what? You the winner on the net gross," and I'm going bingo. So it was so excited that I needed to surprise. And I know, Coach, also, I got to tell you something.
Yes.
I've been here in Bakersfield 20 years, and I've been involved in so many fundraisers, especially golf tournaments. You really have such a spirit that you really light up everybody. So if you raise $130,000, it's really impressive because you had everybody behind you. Not only that, you made everybody believe that it can be done. And I gotta tell you, thank you. And the rest of, I guess, is
here we have one more.
I just did my part.
Absolutely, no,
because
you
I
did.
believe in you guys. I believe in the kids. I believe in the gals that they're really playing hard. And you have a vision and a new. You want to bring the trophy to Bakersfield. You want to have the winner team here.
Yes, we need to now earn the right or earn the respect of everybody that did donate.
So congratulations really for the efforts you really did on the
you know what?
tournament.
Hey,
and
thank you so much, Jose.
In the future.
Well, you know, Jose owns Jose Driving Range. It's on Stein Road, and it's just another place that he's opened up to my players and myself to do stuff there. It's just great. But
practice anytime.
Family Motors, they had, I was able to have vehicles there. I had a brand new Porsche. Tim Jolving helped me. That's how I met Jose down the road. And we had met before, but I was able to do some good stuff with him. And we had a brand new Hyundai. Patrick Beck from Hyundai donated a good thing. And also, we had a brand new Mercedes there. Damon played in my tournament from there. And this is what Jose did when he got up and I knew he was going to surprise me, he said, and he was our last award. He won the net. If you look at my trophy, Mark Pavlitich won the gross part, and he just, I can't thank him enough. He donated a very nice prize and with money, and then over here, and then on my perpetual trophy that we'll have for years to come, the net winner was Jose Arredondo, and I'm so proud of him, and he went up. And this is what he went and said. He literally came up and donated, $30,000 to our program, and I almost, it brought tears to my eyes because I was there.
Oh, I thought he was paying me for his appearance on the show. Oh, I guess not. I guess his $30,000 doesn't go.
Well, Coach, the reason I did this, let me tell you, I was moved by the fact that what you're trying to do with these kids. Is excited, and me coming for where I come from, my background, and be now in the position that I am to be able to touch people's lives, because that's what it's all about.
Right.
I say, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and donate $30,000 because I really believe on the program that you're doing. If I don't believe in the program, believe me, I will not even show up to even participate. Instead, say, you know what, this is a big thing. I'm going to donate $30,000 because the community is being good to me, and I must give back to the community. That's bottom line. That's what my heart is, and that's, I feel, my connection with you from that perspective. So I really, again, I'm just glad that you invite me, and I was able to participate in a positive way.
Well, you definitely stepped up to the plate for me, and I have to, Kevin Small and Mary Trishelle and Diane Link, the best, and what you did, that's so fantastic.
Well, thank you guys so much. I appreciate Jose, your support of the program. And Greg, good job on the tournament. We got to hit a break, but gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. And I'm going to go to break holding a $30,000 check because that's just not going to happen very often. We'll be right back. This is Roadrunner Rundown.
Wonderful.
The Bakersfield Californian is a great read on the iPad, but did you know that the Bakersfield Californian is available on your Kindle Fire? Or how about Google's Nexus 7? The Nook? You bet. You can also read a full replica of the newspaper on your Android-powered smartphone, on Apple's iPhone, or on your laptop. We have a solution for any device. E-Edition is free for subscribers, or just $7.99 a month. The Bakersfield Californian. We're everywhere and anytime. Subscribe today. Bakersfield.com.
Current Business Journal contains news and information from local business leaders and organizations. Topics include agriculture, health and medical, energy, real estate, and more. Visit KernBusinessJournal.com to find out how to subscribe or where to pick up a free copy. To inquire about advertising in the bi-monthly Business Journal, call 395-7586. Find us online on Facebook and Twitter, as well as on KernBusinessJournal.com.
I'm Lisa Kirsch. Coming up Wednesday on Live Well, it is the Super Bowl edition. You don't want to miss this. Chef Robert will be on, sharing all kinds of recipes for special eats and treats during the big game, as well as the food dudes who will be stopping in to share their information with us, along with Scott Cox, who's going to be coming in to talk about all things manly and man caves, and it'll be a lot of fun. You don't want to miss that. That is coming up on Live Well Wednesday, right here on Bakersfield.com.
Save 50 to 90% with the Bakersfield Californians Daily Deal featured on Bakersfield.com. A daily deal is offered each weekday on services from local restaurants, dry cleaners, health and beauty services, retail shops, and local activities for the entire family. The daily deal is 100% local. Find these amazing deals only at dailydeal.bakersfield.com.
Madness is calling. The 2014 WAC Men's and Women's Basketball Tournament. March 12th through the 15th at Orleans Arena in Las Vegas. 16 teams battle through the brackets on their way to the big dance. Be there to see who will go home the big winner.
All session passes on sale now for $165 by calling 654-BLUE. And we're back here on Roadrunner Rundown. Whirlwind show moving right along. My thanks to Jose Arredondo and Greg Osbourne joining us in the last segment. And now we talk some baseball as spring sports are underway. Practice underway this past week. We brought you some of the highlights earlier in the show. And one of the gentlemen that is expected once again to be a leader for Bakersfield is senior infielder Oscar Sanay. He joins us now on the program. Oscar, how's it going, man? How were the first couple of days of practice for you?
Oh, good. Thanks for having me. First couple of days, really good. Shaking off the rust from the break, but, starting to come together.
Fall practice, Coach Kern always said that so much was determined during fall practice in years past, but he said it was so competitive this year with all the new guys you have coming in that he didn't get a chance to really set his lineup or his positions in fall, so it seems like you guys are kind of picking up where you left off from the fall into the spring now.
Yeah, a couple positions are up in the air. Guys are working really hard. It's a good problem, though. It's a good problem to have. Guys can play. Guys are ready to play. We just need to see who's going to be out there opening day.
You guys, this coming off last season's regular season WAC championship, losing in the semifinals of the WAC tournament, but obviously defending conference champions starting this year, but a lot of the pitching and some of the position players gone from that team. So, a lot of new guys. How is that sort of, how have they been incorporated into the program so far?
Well, it's not a bunch of new guys, to be exact. We lost our starting rotation, our core lineup, but this year's starting rotation actually was on the team last year. They're just it's their time now, so they kind of know what to expect, how it's gonna be, just by watching the last year's guys. So as far as that, it's nothing new. It's their time. Offense, some of the guys gonna have to step up, and then the new guys, you're just gonna have to catch on what we're going to do and just keep it rolling.
You've played second base, your entire career here, but going to maybe split some time this year between second base and shortstop. I mean, what's it been like kind of taking ground balls at short once again and working that a little bit as well?
Just going back to, to my home roots. I've played shortstop since I was 13. Loved it, but, certain injury, kind of held me back coming into college. Tyler Sharrock was really good at short. Me and him were up the middle, couldn't have a better duo up there. He's gone, I got to step up the slack a little bit. But if not, Miles Jones, man, this guy can play.
Yeah.
So me and him up the middle or me and him on the left side, it don't matter, we'll get the job done.
And you do have a good – let's talk about that infield. I know some of the positions we're not exactly sure where everyone's going to be, but, the players will be yourself, Miles Jones, Solomon Williams most likely, first base. I mean, that seems to be a pretty solid, defensive front for you guys.
Yeah, these guys can hit, but they can really play D, That's what we emphasize, the fall and coming back from the winter. It's just a lot of defense because that's going to keep us in the games with our pitching. Offense will be there, but we just really want to focus on the defense because that can kill, other teams' rallies in the middle of the inning, and just keep it, the momentum going towards the game.
And it makes pitchers love you, too.
Exactly. Yeah.
Absolutely. Oscar Sanay, our guest here on Roadrunner Rundown, senior infielder for the Roadrunners. Now, I got to ask you this, though. Is there any sort of a how do we say it, chip on your shoulder? You didn't get drafted last year. You led the runners in average the last 2 years. You're one of the best hitters all time in the history of this program, with 3 of the years being in the dead bat era, by the way. And so you come in your senior, you're not drafted after your junior year. Is there some sort of chip on Oscar Sanay's shoulder about that?
It's a little bit, when you have, the guys you came in here with leave before you did, didn't go, out on top at the same time. It's kind of, a little, disappointment because, we came, me, Tyler, and Brockmeyer, we came in together. We always gonna say, oh, we're gonna leave together. We're gonna kill it here, and then we're gonna leave together and see what's next. So it didn't happen, but unfortunately, I still got 1 more year. I'm actually on time to graduate, so that'd be good. That'll make my mom happy. So, if I graduate and get picked up, that'd be a great year, great Christmas present for my family. So I just see it in that way. But there is a chip, and. Why not? Well,
that's a good way to look at it, though. You could actually, a lot of guys get drafted early, they come back and they're finishing school as their, Jeremy Rodriguez has been a good example. Former catcher here, he went back to school for 2 years in the off season and got his degree. But you could actually have your degree and be drafted, which would be cool.
That'd be great,
Absolutely. Oscar Sanay joining us here on Roadrunner Rundown. 4th year in the program. Your first year, you guys were pretty good, almost made the regionals. 2012, you fell off a little bit. 2013, much better with the same group, and now 2014. Coach Kernan has talked about, he wants to get rid of that bridge year. He wants to get rid of that rebuilding year. Do you think you guys have the pieces to avoid that and kind of pick up where you left off last year?
Oh yeah, especially with the pitching, biggest part right there. And then just the new guys are actually, really getting better each year. The recruits. And then, it's with that program, they hear about it, they know what to expect, and they're ready to come, or they're ready to play when they come. So as far as bridging the gap, that's what big programs do, and, we're in that transition. So hopefully. What do you as a guy who's been here now for 4 years, tell recruits when they come in, and you mentioned that, and Coach Kernan has brought in better and better recruits every year. What do you tell them about this program? Because I look at baseball and I see a group that, always gets along, always has a great time, always competes with the best in the nation, is very successful against the best in the nation, might not have every, frill and bonus that other institutions have, but you guys make it work. I mean, what do you tell, recruits when they're thinking about coming to Bakersfield? I'd just tell them straight up, this is a hard work, dedication program. This is not, the spotlight, the flashy, all the facilities, all that. You're not going to get this here, you're looking to party. This is not, the place here. You want to play ball. You love to play ball. And you want to, get revenge at those big schools that, kind of, overlooked you.
Sure.
This is a place. This is where you can showcase your talents, and then beat them.
Yeah, and we've definitely done that. And season opens on February 14th. Great part about college baseball is it opens so early. You guys get going in February against Milwaukee. How excited are you for opening day? This will be your fourth and final opening day. So how excited are you?
Just working hard. For the the last go around, they say. So, just try to take it day by day. You can't really look into the future too much. So you just got to focus on today, keep getting better, enjoy it, help others around you, and just keep working. Opening day is opening day, but it's not the last day of the season. We got to keep working from now until the end, for our goal, which is to repeat for the WAC champ. So, and then that's pretty much it.
Finally, real quick, we talked about some of the newcomers, but give me maybe one guy that people, you as a guy who's been here, can tell the fans, hey, look out for this guy this year.
There's a couple, David Metzger, really, really good hands. It reminds me of me when I came up here. So he's got a good bat. You got Grot John. We have pitchers, we got Nemo. You know, they're coming up. Daly's a two-way guy. You know, that's what we kind of breed over here, the two-way guys. He's going to be good. A lot of talent coming up. They just got to get some experience right now.
Absolutely. Well, I got that experience starting on February 14th. Oscar, thanks so much for joining us, man. Good luck this year. We'll be definitely keeping in touch throughout the season.
Appreciate it.
All right, Oscar Sanay here on Roadrunner Rundown. That's going to do it for us, folks. Thanks so much for joining us. You can catch previous versions of this show anytime online at GoRunners.com. You can also follow us on Facebook, Facebook.com/CSUB Roadrunners, and on Twitter at CSUB Athletics, Instagram at CSUB Athletics as well. We'll talk more baseball next week on the show. Also, the Hot Stove Dinner coming up. Do not forget about that, February the 8th at the Kern County Fairgrounds. Tickets available by calling 654-3473. Tommy John, the keynote speaker, and you can also meet Oscar and the rest of the 2014 Roadrunners as well. Details online at GoRunners.com. Next week on the show, our athletic director, Jeff Konya, will join us. We'll have another edition of Corey Visits as I'm going on the road this week, so we'll take you one of the sights and sounds from around the WAC. Thanks so much for joining us, folks. We'll catch you next time right here on Roadrunner Rundown.